All right, guys, welcome back to our third session part, or I guess our third part. We'll have 4 parts tonight. It's going to be great. May have 1 or 2 people still coming back, but that's okay. Let us move our characters.
Just enough time to go microwave a burrito.
Nice. I went and got a cookie. All right.
Now I'm hungry.
We're going to go to the map.
House elves tucked and yet enough time to grab pizza.
Nice. I got some taquitos.
Screw you guys, man.
Yeah, you should have donuts, right? Colonel always has donuts.
It's all right. I had a couple of beers. I'm good.
All right. So we switch everybody over to our map real quick. So you're basically following... you guys are going to be just outside of the town when Ian's going to go ahead and give me a roll to track. So it should be a survival roll, correct?
If you say so.
Yep.
All right. So just outside, you guys are kind of standing just outside of the town, a little bit to the north of town. You pick up the tracks. And you're picking up lots of tracks. So you pick up the tracks of goblins, a band of goblins who have come from the north and then went into the town. And you're pretty sure, it is about the number of the group that you faced originally. You've also found, as you're looking around in this kind of wide area, you see the tracks of the orcs where they had come from, which still was kind of northish of Nightstone Town, also coming from the forest area. You also see the tracks of, with that roll, you see the tracks that the elves were following those orcs. And you also pick up the tracks of a large group of humans, and you're pretty sure this would be the villagers that were heading north of the town. So those are the sets of tracks that you pick up just north of town.
Cool. So I start following the human tracks.
Okay. So you're kind of in a hilly area as you get a little bit further north. There you see copses of trees every now and then, but not a lot of them. And it's still kind of plains, but you're getting some undulation of the land as you kind of go up a little hill and then down a little hill. And you're following the tracks. They're pretty easy to find, even though it's been like 4 days since this has happened. These tracks, there's just so many of them moving north. That's pretty easy to follow. And you're definitely sure that you're not seeing any of the tracks that are coming back. So wherever they've gone, you're not seeing like a big mass of tracks where they were heading south again. And you come up to some hills where you're starting to see kind of little dots of what you probably would think might be a cave or might be an indent. And this kind of sounds like about the area when you were talking to the guard of the caves as you head a little bit further north.
Cool. How far away are they?
You were only probably, as you're following the tracks and making sure you're just looking at everything, you probably have only traveled about a half hour so far. You guys are about a half hour north of town.
He told us it was like 2 hours, didn't he? Something like that. Does anyone remember?
That is a good question. Does anybody remember?
I thought it was 3 hours.
It might have been 3 hours.
That was what whichever guard came back said it was 3 hours.
Alright, so it's only been about half an hour. Okay. And all I see still are human tracks.
It's a large group of tracks. You think it's the villagers just because of the numbers. Yeah. But there's a lot of tracks here.
Okay. And, okay. So...
And you're seeing adult size, small size, everything in between. So it's families, it's, whatever.
And what time is... Oh, it's only been like 30 minutes, you said, right?
Yep. So you probably have a little bit less than an hour before it goes dark.
Okay. I asked someone in the party, or maybe I know. I guess I probably would know. Do orcs see well at night?
Yes,
They,
They have,
as well as you do.
yeah.
So do goblins. They are nocturnal creatures.
Oh, good. I'm glad we're coming at night then. So I tell them, I turn back to the group and I say that we've started encountering some caves, but we still have more time.
Yeah, you're probably you can see them, and you're probably about a 10-minute walk from them. So I wanted to give you enough time to decide if there was something you were going to do. But you think you see a few possibly indentations in the hill up ahead that might be caves, could indicate caves, and they're about 10 minutes ahead.
Yep, I head back to the group to meet them, and I tell them that we're encroaching on what could be caves, so stay alert to any dangers. And if no one has anything to say, I'll head back up, and I'll keep following the tracks.
Okay. So you go a little bit further, and they do lead at first to, it looks like it's going to a hill. You're following the tracks, and go ahead and give me a perception roll. Okay. So you're following the tracks, and you're getting closer to, you can kind of see, that you think you see a cave mouth coming up for sure. And the tracks seem to lead to that cave mouth.
That's probably the first cave they went into.
and how long has it been?
Well,
It's only been like an
About
hour, right?
45 minutes now.
maybe we move faster.
I would have thought we'd move slower when we're tracking.
Well, I mean,
It's half
pretty-
speed when you're tracking.
Yeah, so I mean, technically that would take us like 6 hours. I don't think I'm remembering that wrong.
I mean, it's a lot. It's pretty obvious tracks, though. It's pretty hard to cover up hundreds of people or tens of people. But
Yeah, I mean, if you're sure that they're humanoid, I guess. I mean, if you ask Jarrel, he's gonna suggest that we follow the tracks wherever they go to the closest one.
Oh, I think you
Oh, it's
move
free.
at normal speed, but the person tracking doesn't have perception or something like that. They're busy looking for other stuff. They don't do
They
their
were
passive
free.
check.
Was it 3 miles north? Was that what he told us? Was it miles? Because I wrote miles north.
Oh, you might be right. I thought it was hours.
No, the first cave was 1 mile up. Another one, the one they ended up with, was 3 miles north.
This is why you take notes. All right. So yeah,
So it's been-
Jarl's on board.
Yeah, so it's feasible that that's the cave. So I wait there for a few minutes, not enough for them to catch up with me, but enough that I know they're close by. And I head towards the mouth of the cave.
Okay.
To see
Yeah,
if
you
this
see the
is
tracks
the-
go up to it, and you get to kind of the cave mouth. And you notice that it seems like several of the tracks went in, but then it looks like a couple of tracks come back out, and then the group seems to move off. The group of tracks seems to move off around the hill, back around the hill, and continue to head. From what you can tell, it looks like they go around the hill of some sort. You can't quite see in the cave, but you're kind of at the cave mouth.
So they probably left. Okay. So I jog up and meet up with the group, and I let them know that I found the first cave that the humans went into, and the tracks match what the guard told us, and that we should follow the ones moving away. Are we in agreement? Or does anyone want to check the cave?
So nobody went into the first cave, right?
I just looked into it. I didn't go in.
Yeah, but I mean, your notes.
Oh, my notes. It's the first one was bad. I wrote bad closed cave. That's exactly what I wrote down.
Were there any captured in that cave?
No, they were captured. They went 3 miles north to the caves and were met with goblins just outside of the cave.
Okay, so
We still
if
have another 2
nothing,
miles.
yeah, if nothing went in the first one, then I say skip around that one. That would be Jarl's input.
All right. I look at the rest of the group.
Armel's going to cast a spell.
Nice. Put it in the chat so we can see. Okay.
And then he is going to shift form
Okay.
to a wolf.
All right.
And then I will pad forward and help to track with smell and hearing.
Cool. I tell you to look out for goblins because I feel you'll have a better luck finding them than I will.
He'll wolf back to you.
Let's go ahead and give us a perception check then for our wolf. Or
Is it?
actually, I guess it'd be a survival check.
It's not dark yet, right?
No, you're probably within another 15 to 20 minutes, and it'll be dark.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, so you're picking up the smells of humans for sure. You even pick up probably the smell of, you think something else too. Might be, I don't know if you'd be able to tell the race. You're definitely picking up a pack of humans for sure, shuffling around the hill. And it looks like it matches up with what she is seeing as far as sight.
Okay.
You're not picking up at this point any other sense from any of the other. You're not picking any goblins or anything else up at the moment.
Okay. It's actually the wolf has advantage on perception checks that have anything to do with hearing or smell.
Yeah. Yep. I gave you the advantage on it. Even though I had you roll survival. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So just continue following the tracks is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, for about another mile,
Okay.
and then I want to be more cautious about it.
Yeah. The tracks head north again for a while longer. And go ahead and give me 2 more checks, one from each of you. Let's see, 2 more survival checks.
So as soon as it gets dark, I'm gonna join them at the front, and I'm gonna try and do look for anything that they're not looking for.
And I've got survival as well, and I'll be hanging out towards the back, just keeping an eye out in case anything decides to come from that angle.
Okay.
Yeah, mine will be more perception than survival.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Armel, you do pick up the scent of a human that's off to the edge because you're not necessarily walking in a straight line where the tracks are. You're kind of wandering a little bit. And you pick up the tracks or the smell of a human that must have went south that's a little bit ways off of the tracks Ian is following at the moment. And you can tell this scent came from the north and was heading south back towards the town.
Like our guard.
Okay. Can't really relay that to anybody.
Yeah, gotcha. So we continue north, and again, you're in hill area. So you're kind of cresting hills, going down in hills. You're following the tracks, and at about another hour, you come across what you think is the spot where the goblins ambushed this group. You see a lot of tracks of goblins. You see some tracks of definitely some bigger creatures. You see the tracks of giant wolf paw prints. You can tell that they definitely intercepted this group, and then all of those tracks head north again, and it looks like they're heading towards a certain hill. It's a bigger hill than you've seen so far, and it looks like it's kind of making a beeline for that hill. And it's maybe you're not quite sure because the moon is out, so you can kind of see a little bit of the features, even though you can't see everything. You think it's probably another 15 minutes from where you're at.
I have one DM question, and then I want to do something. Since I can, when Armel is in his beast form, I guess this is a question for Armel. Do you get the? I guess because for primeval
the druid
awareness,
communication or the ranger communication.
Yeah, because I can communicate with beasts, and I can we can communicate through sounds and gestures. Would that work with you?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, because you become like a wolf, so you're able to communicate as a wolf would. So yeah, read off that text again as far as what you said when you can communicate, because you can tell certain things about them. You can't just talk to them outright, right? You can...
No, I can just... Let's see, I'll do one better. There it is.
Yeah.
You
know his emotional state. You know... You're sure magic will hurt him.
Simple ideas.
Yeah. And he completely understands any question you ask of him. So it's easy for you to say, did you see something? It's easy for him to communicate to you yes or no. But that he wouldn't be able to say, yes, I saw 7 people and they ran 50 feet this way and then turned left. He wouldn't be able to communicate that to you.
Yeah. But I would at least know, to look for something. Okay.
Yeah, yes and no. You would be able to get yes and no answers from him pretty easy.
All right. And part 2 of primeval awareness, I want to. I asked the group to wait for a second. I want to do primeval awareness. So I want to sit down, sort of cross-legged on the ground and sort of in a meditative state. And I'm going to attune with the world around me. And I want to see if any of my favorite enemies are present and within 5 miles of me. So.
Okay. And what is your favorite enemy? Just so I remember.
Up to your discretion. What that means.
Okay, yeah.
And the text is over in the chat. If you want to read it.
Let's see. Yeah, you're definitely picking up goblins, and it is coming from the hill that you are heading towards.
Okay.
You are picking up a group of humans, also in the same direction. I think you probably are picking up humans to the south.
Probably the town.
It's definitely within a few miles.
Mm-hmm.
And that is all you were picking up.
Cool. Do I have any idea of how many there are?
Does it give you a full number, or is it an approximation?
You can sense whether any of your favorite enemies are present, blah, blah, blah. Feature reveals favorite enemies are present, their numbers, and
It does say their numbers. Yeah, let me. So probably
You can approximate it if you want.
8 to the south. Yeah, and then the next piece. How many of those are there?
Making you do the work. Really, this is just an excuse for me to eat my what do you guys call them? The little small oranges?
Mandarins,
Tangerines.
cuties.
Mandarins?
Clementine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cuties,
clementine.
clementines, or halos.
Cuties are the
Mandarins.
best because they just like fall out of the. You just peel them super easy.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're
My neighbor
probably
gave us,
picking
a
up.
bag of them.
I'm gonna say. Probably about 10 goblins ish. Oh, actually, wait a minute. I need to count that too, I think.
Then there's that secret room. Then the basement.
Yeah, there's all
And then
kinds of
there's that
stuff.
one in the bathroom.
It seems like a crazy ability now that I think about it.
I
And would it
think-
count if they were underground? Like 5 miles underground?
I mean, it's up to you. That's a
Well, I'm
new-
just even thinking. I'm wondering about even mechanically what they were thinking there.
It's part of the UA, so like I said, up to your discretion how you want to deal with it.
Well, we'll go with it for now. Well, I don't think it'll be too bad. So yeah, I guess that actually ends up being probably 20-ish goblins. And you're picking up at this point to the north. "23 humans to the
wow.
north." And I think that's what you're picking up.
All right, sweet. So after I get out of that trance, I told the group that I sense 20-ish goblins to the north, 20 about the same as humans. And yeah, in the direction of that hill that you were talking about. And you said it's like 15 minutes out, right?
Yeah, I mean, like a walk. I mean, you could probably run there quicker.
I look at them and I say, and it's all hills, right? All hills around until that cave.
Yeah, the ground is kind of undulating. There's small hills, bigger hills. You're heading towards a bigger hill.
So I'm gonna suggest that we scout it out a bit. I'd like to kind of stealth and look ahead and just see if there's any traps or ambushes or anything as we approach the cave.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll stand back a little bit from him and I'll do the same thing.
You're going
Head out
to
the surrounding
stealth
area.
and scout also?
Mhm.
Okay.
Man, my perception sucks.
I'm still going to stay towards the back as we head north.
Armel will go too.
Jesus fucking Christ,
I
man.
mean, I'll go with them, but
Okay. Well, there's a scouting group going ahead. Is there people
okay.
just staying behind and letting them scout? Is that what's happening?
I'll going with the scouting group.
Okay.
Just me and T standing in the trail.
We bust out our cards and dice.
Okay. All right. And so you're scouting up to the hill, is what I'm hearing?
I'm not going straight up to the hill. I just want to scout out and see if I see any, like, guards or goblins near the front.
I'm getting as far as I can without getting detected. If I kind of get the idea that if I see anything, then I'm gonna stop and kind of head back.
Okay.
But I'm going up until I can see the cave entrance and kind of get a good idea of whether or not there's something around it.
I would also just like to remind everyone that there are more than several ogres probably in this cave, according to our guard.
All right, so the group kind of moves off. Teagray and Greybeard stay back. You watch the scout group kind of move forward. I still need to see a stealth roll, I guess, from Armel and Ardreth.
That was my stealth roll. The wolf gets a +4, so I just rolled it.
Oh, the 5. Okay. Okay.
I rolled mine too.
And are you guys like in a line? Or are you spreading out? Is everybody
spreading
just
out.
walking with each other, or what?
I'm spreading out to a flank.
Okay. All right. So you approach.
I go close to, well, not close to Armel, but I stay around Armel.
Yeah. Okay. So you sneak up, and you're not seeing anything from the cave. You're getting closer to the cave. You've not noticed anything on your way up to the cave mouth, and you get close enough that you can see that there's a large kind of opening at the base of this hill. And it's basically a kind of a gaping cave mouth on the southern face of a rocky hilltop with pine trees. And you can get pretty close to the opening, and you don't see anything as you're near the opening. I don't know how far you're going to get, how close you're going to get.
I'm not gonna get that close.
Okay, you're not seeing anything on the way to the part wherever you're going to stand before you get to the cave mouth. You're not seeing anything coming in or out of the cave mouth. You're not hearing anything. Armel's not smelling anything. You pick up the trail. The tracks are still leading towards the cave mouth.
Is there any light coming from the cave mouth?
No.
Okay. Do I see the other in the group around me?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, you see the others. Nobody rolled a super high stealth, so yeah, you're seeing the group that's around you. They're off,
Okay.
Either on either side of you.
So I'm gonna make some hand gestures. Like, do we want to go inside the cave mouth? So I point to me, I point to them, and then I point to the cave mouth and raise my hands. Like, what do you want to do?
Do we want to make a commotion up here and make them come out?
How big is the cave mouth?
Looks like it's about 10 feet wide and stands anywhere from 10 to 15 feet tall.
Why don't we? Armel will try to shoulder the two of you back a little bit and try to imply that I want to run up. I mean, if a wolf gets seen here, it's just a wolf, right?
Okay.
And
Right.
I am, if nothing else, crazy fast in this form, so I'll run up at 50 feet per move and take a look.
All right. Jarrel nods and waves his hand in front of his nose.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to kind of lope forward, and obviously the smell from the cave gets stronger to you. It's obviously a lived-in cave. You're smelling a lot of different smells. Human, goblin, probably other creatures that are in there. Death and decay. I mean, you're getting a strong aroma of everything. It's definitely a lived-in cave. And but you don't see anybody right outside it.
Okay. How close can I get?
You can get right up to the edge.
Well, when I do that, I'll go right up and listen.
Okay. So yeah, you're at the very mouth of it, and you hear dripping water, constant dripping water. You hear every now and then the shuffling of feet, but not. You don't hear voices. You don't hear any talking going on. You hear splashing water. You hear a groan or two here or there. You definitely get the sense that there's people within the cave mouth, but you're not sure how far into the cave they are.
All right. He'll growl quietly and then run back.
Okay. You're back with the group, and it's basically it's like a rounded hill, pine trees at the top. Pretty decent sized hill as far as what you've seen so far, heading north.
Okay. Well, he'll run back and sit down in front of you two and look at you patiently. Because he can't talk to you. You have to ask him questions.
Did you see any goblins?
And he will not, well, he'll shake his head.
Yeah, you can do yes or no's.
Does the cave go down?
Yes.
Is
Okay.
there any obstacles in the way?
He'll
You didn't see any. That'd be a no.
he'll move his head in a circle.
Let's see. Is it safe to go in?
He'll bark once.
So Jarrel will say, I think we should go back and talk with the others.
Greybeard, give me a.
Ardreth is with us, right?
Let me think here
Our
a second.
Ardreth.
Ardreth is with you guys. With the scout
Okay.
group that's up ahead. Teagray and Greybeard are about 5 minutes back from you.
Right. Okay.
What do I want? Let me look at your character sheet. "42 hit points. That's way too much. That's crazy. Give me a. What would that be? I'm gonna say give me a survival check, Greybeard.
As good as perception.
All right. Nope, never mind. Continue on. What would the group like to do?
I love continue on.
Nothing to see. Move on.
Nothing's wrong. Nothing you see is wrong. You don't hear anything behind you.
So I suggest everybody we go back to Greybeard and Teagray.
Yeah, I agree.
And if everybody agrees, then I just kind of give Armel a slap on the shoulder, like a good dog.
Yeah, we didn't get to hear what kind of wolf
You
does
get a
this look
growl
like?
from that.
Yeah, how big are you? What do you look like?
Well, technically he's freaking monstrous as he is a dire wolf.
Oh, you're a dire wolf.
So when you're
So,
on all fours,
All black. Yeah. Well, yeah, he's not a werewolf technically. He's just a big wolf.
Yeah.
Jet black, yellow eyes, slavering.
I give you a scritch behind the ear.
You could do that.
I thought about that.
You get an odd lack of response from him though, as he looks you right in the eye.
I give you a look like, don't fight it. You know it feels good. And and I head off. Yeah.
All right, you guys are back with Greybeard and Teagray, who are playing cards and rolling dice.
All right, so we kind of relay the information that we were able to get out of Armel and the fact that we didn't really see anything. So I guess I propose that we try and go into the cave. It sounded as though they're in there.
So I have two ideas. Here's my two ideas.
As we're talking about this, before he says that, I'm keeping an eye out. Because I don't trust these goblins aren't going to pop up behind us.
Too late. No, okay.
I'm itching to use this newfound magic. So here's idea number one.
No.
I make Greybeard huge and he runs in screaming. Or two, whoever's the stealthiest, I invis them and use message to communicate as they scout ahead. Pick one.
How long do these spells last?
Invisibility is an hour.
And the large one?
Only a minute.
Are they concentration? That'll be important.
Invisibility is not concentration, but if the person attacks or casts a spell, they lose it.
I don't have a problem going in there. I would hold the big spell
Magic.
for
Oh, it is. Invisibility is concentration. But it's
Yeah,
on a creature.
So I don't have a problem going in there if you want to do that on me. But the enlargement spell, how big does the creature get?
That one's more of a joke because a medium creature becomes large.
So what's the height there?
That's like 10 feet, isn't it? A large?
Yeah, it basically doubles your size.
Okay. I'm just wondering if maybe that would be a good way to just kind of block something off if you enlarge one guy in a small area.
Oh, for sure.
Or kill him, one or the other.
Well, if we send our stealthiest person ahead invisible, I can message back and forth with that person, relaying it to the rest of the group as we head in after them, but at a safe distance.
So I haven't been rolling it, but I think I'm probably the most stealthy. Close to it.
What's your stealth bonus?
5.
I've got 5 over a dexterity of 16.
I've got a 15 dex. Oh, dexterity? Yeah, I got 16 dexterity.
Okay, it's the same.
I would say Jarrel, since you can.
But I also have 40 movement
Go for it then.
And dark vision goodness.
and 120 dark vision.
Yeah. So I would
And
say that.
you can actually fight without disadvantage inside there.
Yep.
It's your time to shine, so to speak.
Yeah.
Or the opposite of shining since it's dark.
Exactly. I say let's do it.
Yeah. Let's get closer. Let's get inside the cave. Or right outside the cave before we do it, though. Take advantage of the full hour. Because we don't know how deep the cave is.
Okay. Yeah, just before we go in? Yeah, okay.
Alright.
So I'll kind of be looking out to make sure we're not going to get jumped. Let me roll that. I'm good? Okay.
Once we get inside, I'm going to cast invisibility on Jarl.
Just try not to attack anybody.
And then I will be using message cantrip to be checking back and forth with him as he progresses to let us know when he wants us to come up, what he sees exactly. I think so.
I'm going to stealth too. Yeah.
I think they're at disadvantage to detect him if they can't see him.
I don't like the sound of that. And actually, before I go down, I'm gonna give my my pack to somebody, whoever can hold the most.
Greybeard.
GB will take it.
Cool. Sweet. So the communication, whatever it's called, is that telepathic or is that, how does that work?
No, it's message, so this is it. So we've got to stay within 120 feet of you, but it'll
Okay.
go around corners and stuff. You can hear it, and you can reply in a whisper that only I can hear.
Okay. Aha, there I am. Okay. Okay. All right. So I am going to go very slowly. All right. So I see that there is. Okay. Yep. All right. So I see 2 goblins. All right. So I'm going to motion back to the group. I'm assuming they've all of them that have dark vision have eyes on me. All right. So I'm gonna point.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay. Until Teagray does that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be messaging him. The minute I cast invisibility, I'm going to be just messaging every round to keep in constant contact with him. No, it goes through solid objects if you're familiar with the target and know they're beyond the barrier, so I don't have to technically see him. Shouldn't be. And it says you cast the spell through solid objects if you're familiar with the target and know it is beyond the barrier. And it doesn't have to follow a straight line. Yeah, so it's basically I have to keep, it's a cantrip, so I have to keep doing it. So I'm sitting there fiddling with the little copper wire the whole time, whispering to myself with my eyes closed.
All right. All right. So, you want me to go 1 square, or can I do 2 squares? Go what? Okay. So, have you done the whisper thing on me?
Yep.
Okay. So, how long does the whisper that I'm allowed to whisper back to you go? Like, what
It's
can
one
I...
round and then it'll repeat. It's like we're carrying on a conversation.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna whisper that I see that I'm on the left side of the entrance. I see 2 goblins, forward and right, and
I'm repeating what he says in a whisper to the rest of the group.
okay, and I'm going to move forward and to my right. So basically, as I go, I'm going to be describing that I'm moving forward and right 5 feet, just to make things a little easier, just so he knows where I'm going to be.
And do you want us moving up? You move 10 feet, we move 5, or you want to scout ahead first?
Hold for now.
Holding for now.
Yep. So I'll finish that message with hold for now.
Okay. Has a couple rounds, but continue on. Okay, so let me just give you a description here. So you're seeing you're standing in the kind of like a yawning cave mouth. It's about 12 feet wide, 20 feet high. You can see a vast cavern that opens up ahead of you, and you see kind of like a forest of stalagmites near its center. And along the edges, you're seeing 10-foot high ledges that are along the walls. You're definitely picking up a lot of like water drip sound, which is kind of prevalent throughout the whole cave. And you are seeing the goblins that you are seeing at the moment. They are on guard, so they're watching the cave mouth entrance. They occasionally look at other entrances, but they have their weapons at the ready. So they are basically guarding from those 10-foot areas. And you do see, when you move to there, you see that guy in a mud pool that's kind of bubbling, and he's basically like he's taking a bath inside this big mud pool, and his back is to you at the moment. Anything else you would see from that angle? That's about what you see. So definitely cave-like structure. No light anywhere in the cave. It's completely dark. And there you go.
So I have a dark vision question, because I think this is starting to fade after 60 feet. Does dark vision go full to 120 feet?
I believe yours does.
Because it looks very... It's a lot brighter in the front than it is in the back.
Yeah, I have it set to 120.
Okay. Is there a setting for the fade distance?
I have it as no, there's a -2, so there's no fade.
Okay. Weird. Okay. All right. So okay. So I guess I'm waiting for Teagray to...
Checking in.
Do I recognize that as an ogre?
I assume that you would know ogres.
Yeah, I think they seem they're pretty common.
Yeah, I would think so.
All right, so I'll tell him that there's a mud pool forward and left with what looks to be an ogre in it. And far to the right, past the two goblins, I can make out humans. And I mentioned that the goblins have high ground. The two goblins on the right have high ground. And to hold for now.
Holding.
All right. So I'm going to move forward.
Okay. Yep. More of the cave is opened up. You're still seeing more of the same kind of 10-foot ledges, stalagmites throughout the area.
All right. How much time goes by for each movement?
I'm kind of timing it off of how much you're communicating with him.
Okay.
So, like, that's probably only been, that was probably a round for you to move to there and then communicate.
All right. So that's
Because it's 6 seconds is what I assume you're being cautious and you're
very cautious.
talking with Teagray.
All right. I just want to make sure I'm not going to get halfway in here and then invisibility is going to go away.
Oh, you got an hour. That's a long time.
You've got probably 59 minutes.
Okay. Cool. All right. Wait for Teagray.
Checking in.
Okay, so there's another goblin to the right, just before the on another ledge, and I described the ledge as about 10 feet high. Right to the left of the. Did I say right? It's to my left, and it's left of the ogre. I see another goblin on another rise, maybe about 10, 20, about 30, 20, 30 feet beyond the ogre to the left. And that is all I see. I'm almost positive that the humans are on the right.
As in the townsfolk.
It's not clear. They appear to be human. I can't make out whether or not they're townsfolk or not. Can I tell if they're alive or not from here?
No, you're not sure.
Are they laying down?
They all
or are
seem
they
to
moving?
be huddled, either propped up against the wall. Maybe some of them that you're seeing, you may
Okay.
recognize as they might make a movement, but you don't have a good idea being this far back, and
Okay.
you're not getting a good sense.
All right.
They are definitely not moving and walking around or chit chatting or anything like that.
Right. Okay. I say hold for now.
Holding.
All right. So I'm going to move one more forward. All right. And then when Teagray checks in, I'm going to tell him it looks as though there's a possible passage left, two possible passages on the left, either passages or alcoves. There appears to be a passage on the right between the two goblins, and the humans are in the second passage on the right before a pool. There's stalagmites in front of me. I can't see very well to the back of the cave. Hold for now. All right, so what would be the best movement here? Probably here. let me ask the DM a question. If I do, no, I'm not a rogue. Never mind. Okay, so next check-in, there's a pool of water just outside the passage that leads to the humans. Nothing new to report.
Definitely don't step in that pool.
No.
Are you still within 120 of me? Because that's my limit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So give me a perception check, Jarrel, when you're at that spot now.
Perception check.
Yep.
Passive perception or perception?
Just regular perception. All right, keep going.
My passive is better than that. All right. So I'm going to go here. And when Teagray checks in, nothing new to report, and that I am about 30 feet away. And hold.
You're saying you're 30 feet away from us?
Yes.
Okay.
And let's go ahead and pause here for our final break, and then we will come back into our final hour of tonight's session. So let's be back in about 5 minutes. I'll switch you guys over to the character sheets. We will be back in just a moment. It's 10:03 on mine, so I'll be back at 10:08. Be right back.
Cool.